Day 9, Master Cleanse, Type 1 Diabetic. Oh yeah, by the way, my name is Alexa. Yeah, so I did a video yesterday. It was about 7 in the evening. I think it's maybe round about the same time now. So it's not quite the end of the day, but yeah, my blood sugars yesterday, like I mentioned in yesterday's video, were like really quite balanced all day, round about the 6 mark. And whereas days 1 to 7, my blood sugar had been peaking a lot, quite high, you know, up to 20 at the highest. And so yesterday, when they sort of like leveled out, that was interesting. And then when it came to going to bed, because all of the other nights my blood sugar had been so high, and then I take a background shot of insulin, I knew that in the hours that I would be asleep, that background shot would be bringing the blood sugar down from quite a high level. But last night, because my blood sugar, I went to bed and it was still around 6.1 or 6.2, and so I was like, if I have my 17 units of insulin, and I don't want to adjust my 17 units of background insulin, because if I make that less, then that means that tomorrow eating the same amount of the molasses is going to again behave all differently. So keeping my background insulin the same, but going to bed and having a background insulin shot of 17 units when my blood sugar's at 6 is just stupid if you don't do anything about it. So I was really super tired as well last night, so I just decided I'm just gonna have 2 tablespoons of the maple syrup and just correct that way, and then I'm going to set my alarm for 3 a.m. and check. So I did that. My blood sugar at 3 a.m. was again the same, 6.2. And I was like, right, okay, so I'm going to have 2 more tablespoons of maple syrup, and I'm going to set my alarm for 5 o'clock. So I did that. 5 a.m. my blood sugar was 3, so it had dropped. And so you have to be really like aware of all of this when you're type 1 diabetic, because in case you're watching this and you know nothing about type 1 diabetes, you know, it can be really dangerous using insulin, because you can be having reactions to the insulin known as hypoglycemic attacks, which is like plummets in your blood sugar, which in worst case scenario can lead to coma and death. So we don't really want that happening. So you have to be very careful. And so I was pleased that I could suss that out, you know. And so again, I had 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and then I slept so deeply last night. I know I had to keep waking up to test my blood sugar, but I know I was back out. I slept so deep and heavy, and I was exhausted this morning, and I just went back to bed, and I finally woke up about 9:30, and then my blood sugar was 5.4, which is probably like possibly like a non-diabetic's kind of like blood sugar, maybe, if they'd eaten a big dinner the night before. So that's been interesting. And then today, it's been kind of similar, but my blood sugar's gone up to 8.5. But no higher than that. And I've had so far 5 lemon drinks, and it's like 7 p.m. all with 1 tablespoon of molasses. So it is different. The original measurements that Stanley Burrows gives in his book is 2 tablespoons of maple syrup per lemon drink. Or for diabetics, to start off with 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, build up to 2, and then transition to maple syrup. Up to 1 tablespoon of molasses, move up to 2, and then transition to maple syrup. But I just haven't, this time, I haven't managed to build up to that 2 tablespoons of molasses. So, but you know, it's an experiment, and there's no total book to follow when you're working with diabetes. So I'm just doing what seems right for me. Like, one of those juices with 2 tablespoons of molasses is just like, whoa! Like, one of those juices with 2 tablespoons of maple syrup is like, so it's like a lot lighter and kind of like, yummy, lemonade. But the day that I did the maple syrup was the day I was just like ravenous. So I've just stayed on the molasses. Ravenous. But today, you know, I made right, so on the cleanse, you're drinking in the morning you do the saltwater flush. Did mine this morning, just comes straight out as liquid, like, and then and not much of it either. Well, that's a lie. I lay down, I probably got back up about 4 times or something. But that's happening sort of in the morning. It's not happening if I get up and I go out, and it's not been happening like that. It's just been happening at home in the morning. So you can kind of get out and about and move around. And I started making, and they say if you want a tea, drink mint tea, which I have been drinking mint tea, but then I get this craving because it's all molasses and stuff. There's a lot of sweet stuff, so there's cravings for the savoury. So I've been making myself, and I figured out, you know, it's pretty clean. I'm sure it's all right. Nettle tea, big mug of it. Big mug. Nettle tea. Little bit of this Soleil that I've got, which I put in my distilled water, so it's not very salty. A Himalayan salt, Soleil, little bit of that, little bit, because my taste buds are quite alive. Apple cider vinegar, and then today I added the apple cider vinegar, and then because I've been researching all supplements and stuff, and I was like, and the guys that were here, they were talking about supplements, and one of them mentioned this Shilajit, and I've got the Shilajit and I never take it, and I was like, I'm going to put that in my tea. It's so good. That's what this is. That's why it's so dark. It's a tiny bit of Shilajit, the black goo from the Himalayan mountains that's super good for you, full of fulvic acid, a little bit of Soleil, salt, Himalayan salt, apple cider vinegar, and nettle. It's like a miso, like, oh, it's just so good when you, like, it kind of fulfilling, you know? So I'm enjoying that. And today has just been like food, fantasy, excitement dimension. From the moment I woke up this morning, it was like, oh, let me get online and have a look at this raw food moment. And it's just like, let me check this out. And these 3 guys, I met these 3 guys on Tuesday that are traveling around busking and doing stuff, and I was out busking, and they're like doing tarot readings and what have you, and I invited them to come stay in the Carajam, and really lovely, switched on guys, and in their awakening process, and one of them's totally crystalline, totally glittering, flashing, shiny skin, and they've been here, and they've been eating and had all their food, so I've had all their food around me, and they're eating and stuff around me, and which is quite a good thing to experience whilst you're on this cleanse, to, you know, why not, rather than staying away from it, get close to it, see how much you can handle it. And I've just been sniffing like bits, like, oh, can I just have a little bit of that, just to sniff, like, you know, don't actually like the smell of much stuff, but yeah, so they've been here. What was I talking about? Don't know, my soup, my magic soup. The food fantasy realm. So it's gone like days 1, 2, 3, it was all this massive, like, oh my God, I want to eat these old things that I used to eat when I was a teenager and in my 20s. And but in the last couple of days it's really flipped, and then today it was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna get online and I'm gonna look at these raw food. And I was just checking out raw food, and that woman, Fully Raw Christina, on YouTube, and she was on Pinterest as well. I'm just looking at these great big bowls of courgette spaghetti and like all these creamy, and I'm like, I'm just getting so excited about food. And I found this recipe for this just amazing looking raw loaf of fluffy bread. And I just, like, my level of excitement was like peaking. It was and I was online and I was checking out, and I'm just like, I'm writing down all the ingredients, and I'm like, I'm making that, and I'm ordering the loaf tins for my dehydrator online, and I'm like checking out what have I got and what do I need to get. And then I just like diving into all these raw food recipes and just collecting them all into a little place where I'm just like, I'm making that, and I'm making that, and I'm making that. And so my point is is that it's feels really good to be feeling super excited about super healthy food again, because I have been like that before, and I have eaten really healthy like that before, but recently, like, the excitement or the laziness or the convenience of other food has just kind of trampled out that dreaming up. Or maybe because a lot of the time I don't really ever let myself get hungry because of this diabetic kind of like process that I'm in. Like, oh, hungry, test blood sugar, oh, need to eat now. Always like eating to when I'm hungry, basically, and not like being hungry and sort of waiting. Oh, I'll wait till then, because it's like, no, I'm hungry and I'm diabetic, and I have to prepare my food. And so there's this whole thing that just goes on, I think, with being, well, for me, with being type 1 diabetic and insulin shots and stuff. So to be going without food and to have that kind of like appetite and to be getting really excited is really nuts. And because you can't go and immediately make it, but then this like raw loaf of bread takes like 40 hours to dehydrate. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna make it anyway. Sound. And yeah, all these other just lush things I'm so looking forward to making and eating. I'm so excited about it. I don't think I've ever felt so excited about food. And at the same time, I'm still not eating it. And then we went for a walk with the guys. I've been showing them like Torquay, the beautiful side of Torquay, and we went on a coastal path, and I said, do a bit of foraging, you can get some food. And I don't think I've ever spoken so much about food either, ever. I've just been like getting caught in this like cloud of just like amazing recipes that I'm generating, and I've been like generating these recipes as well. They've been going like downloading these recipes, and I'm piecing together all of these distant things, and then I'm like, guys, listen to this, and then I'm like speaking it out, like these amazing like recipes that I've got, like one like that I had today. I was getting it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get walnuts and I'm gonna get some maple syrup and like water it down a little tiny bit with some water and put some Himalayan salt in it, and then I'm gonna crush up some pumpkin seeds, all that have all been soaked and dehydrated, and then I'm gonna mix that together with the maple syrup, and then I'm gonna roll like the walnuts in, and then I'm gonna like put them in the dehydrator till they just like totally dehydrate out, and they're left with this like maple syrup caramelly salted like thing on it. And they're all just going, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Actually, no, they were saying, can you adopt us? They're a bit younger than me. And yeah, like loads of, that was the only sweet one, loads of other like recipes, foraging food recipes. So we went out for a walk, and I'm like, you know, we could get some foraging. There's loads of wild spinach, sea beets down here. You can get it. You could go and get yourself some eggs, and like you can like whip up a lovely like omelette or scrambled egg or something with all this like wild spinach. And tell you what would be super good on it would be mushrooms. And then we're on this walk, and there, like a little while, a few minutes, a while after this, in July, this great big parasol mushroom, like my favourites. They're just so lovely, yummy, kind of a bit like chickeny bacon, like and just one, and I was like, that's amazing, right? And I'm picking this like parasol mushroom, and I'm like, I got so excited about it. Went to the beach, went for a swim, came home, like, get your eggs, and I'm like, can I cook it for you? So I like made it, prepped it all, cooking it all, smelling it all, like putting all, just like making it just so nice. Just so, can you tell? I'm a bit excited. Oh my god, I can smell toast. Either my neighbour back here or my neighbour. No, his kitchen window's shut. Is making toast. But see, I can enjoy it. Like, I don't have to get all depressed and frustrated about it. I'm just like really fully embracing the sniff, the sniff, the smell of like foods, and go, oh no, I'm like imagining like butter and Marmite or peanut butter on top, bit of black pepper. So anyway, that's that. Made food. That's another good thing to do on this cleanse. You know, it's kind of challenging, but it's also, it was like, it's also really interesting because you're not the one that's eating it, and you can't eat it, and you're not going to eat it, any of it. So it's kind of interesting, and you haven't eaten for 9 days, and you're like wanting to get it as lovely as possible, and it's like it's like this pure alchemy coming in and making food, and it's just a lovely process. It's the getting excited about food because that was a food sound. So yeah, blood sugar's still pretty steady. So tonight, if my blood sugars are the same again, instead of like being like cheeky and just having the like excuse to have these 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, I'm gonna actually make them as a juice and have it that way. So I'm cleansing, maybe I'm having the juice in the night as well, maybe. I don't know if that would affect the laxative tea and the salt water thing though. Well, I've done one night just on cheeky spoons of maple syrup, so tonight I'll do the juices and see. And then it's day 10 tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, early, at dawn, I'm going to the shops, to the greengrocers and the other shop, and I'm going to get provisions because he's not open on Sunday and Monday. And on Saturday, I need oranges to do the freshly squeezed orange juices instead of the lemons. And then on Sunday, I can have the oranges and a broth, which I'm going to make the vegetable broth and have that. And then on the Monday, the oranges and the lemon juice and the vegetable broth and the salad. And then on the Tuesday, so maybe even like tomorrow on Friday, I can start whipping together all the stuff. Yeah, to start making this gurgle, dehydrated, amazing, soft, spongy loaves. And like beautiful like vegan cheese and just shitty spaghetti. But before I do that, I'm gonna gentle, just salads, no like weird stuff all over it, not too many nuts and things, because that's quite hard, that's quite heavy, all this like nut fat and everything. So I'll transition into that, but I'll make the breads because they take ages in the dehydrator. So yeah, I'm probably talking more about food today. But I'm quite impressed with myself. I've had people around me. They've been eating their food. I've been sniffing it. Took them to the best fish and chip shop in Torquay. Sat with them, sniffed the chip for a while, over and over again, till it felt like I'd eaten it. And then I've prepared some food for people. Good practice. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with myself. And I'm still alive. I even started watching, I went onto a few days ago onto Netflix and was like, I'm going to watch something. It's got to have some element of food in it. And I picked this like Spanish series, La Cocinera, is that how you say it? The Cook de Castamar. Old period drama about a cook in this big, like, you know, royal building, this amazing kitchen, making amazing food. Food. Yeah, but I'm going to be making, I should have just my own raw food channel. Like, the guys were saying to me, you should have like a restaurant. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, you'd have to be there every day and like kind of take the excitement away. Just like doing it. Maybe I could have a little maybe raw caravan. Yeah. Right, I'm thinking. I'm generating recipe. Right, I'm going. Bye.